In this video, we're going to be making a sweatshirt with flocked HTV, and I've been really looking forward to doing this because I have not used flocked HTV before, but I've been really interested in this, and I think that this is a perfect idea for a winter sweatshirt because if you haven't worked with flock before, it has a velvety texture to it, and it's just really, really nice. So I'm going to be putting a little winter saying on the front of this sweatshirt, and I think it's going to be perfect for cuddling up and watching some Christmas movies, and it'll just be a fun little cozy shirt to have. So for materials, I'm going to be using just a sweatshirt, and then I have a measuring tape just to make sure everything gets lined up appropriately. I also have my weeding tool, and then I have this flocked HTV. This is called Stripflock Pro, and I purchased this from expressionsvinyl.com, and I'll show you later in the tutorial how I'm going to go onto their website to look up my cut settings and also my pressing settings for this product. So what I'm going to do first is head into Design Space and get my little design all ready to go, and then we'll get it all cut out and we'll look up how to cut this on our Cricut Explore Air 2, and then we're going to get it pressed onto our shirt with the 9x9 Easy Press 2. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so here I am in Cricut Design Space, and this is the little file that I'm going to be using. I think it's so cute, and I've actually been seeing this in Design Space a lot throughout the summer, and I have been saving this because I think it's just going to be perfect for a sweatshirt. This is actually called Cozy Winter Vibes Throw Pillow, so you could also make this into a throw pillow. And remember, you can do anything with the files because this would actually look really cute on a coffee mug as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to size my design. It's already in one layer, so it's really all ready to go. It just needs to be sized and then cut. So I'm going to have my width be about 8.5 inches. My sweatshirt is a size small, and I measured with my measuring tape, and I think 8.5 inches is going to be just about right. So that puts me at about 7.6 inches, and I think that'll be about perfect. So now I already have, let's see, nope, I don't. I need to go ahead and select my Cricut Explorer. We're going to use the Cricut Explorer 2, and then I'm going to select Make It. And now since I'm working with HTV, I need to go and click Mirror so I can turn Mirror on, and then I can click Continue. I'm on Expressions Vinyl's website, and this is how you're going to look up the machine settings. So I'm just going to go to the tab that says Machine Settings, and then I'm going to go to Cricut Cut Settings. And the first little chart that comes up is for the Explorer. So you can just go and locate the item that you have, which I have the Stripflock Pro, and it says for the Explorer 2, you'll just do Iron On Plus. If you have the Maker, you can go to the next chart. Let's see, right down here. This is, you have to make sure you have the right title, so Heat Transfer Vinyl Cut Settings. And then Stripflock Pro, it says to use the flocked iron-on setting. Okay, so I'm just going to set my dial to Iron On Plus on my machine, and then I'm going to make sure that mirror is turned on, which it is, and then make sure that my material is shiny side down, and then I'll get to cutting. Back on Expressions Vinyl's website, I'm going to go ahead and look up my HTV settings for pressing this onto my shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and find my Stripflock Pro, and I'm going to locate and see that it is going to be pressed at 311 degrees for 12 seconds. It can be a warm peel, and we're going to use medium pressure. Okay, so I have my flocked HTV already loaded on the mat, and then I made sure to place it shiny side down on the mat. So there's going to be an obvious shiny side, which is your built-in transfer sheet, and you're going to put that face down on the mat because you want it cutting into the HTV and not into your transfer sheet. And then you can see that I had done a little test cut to make sure that I tested out that Iron On Plus setting to make sure it was going to do the whole design correctly without wasting a lot of material. So I can place a link to a tutorial on how to do test cuts on your machine to make sure that you can do smaller cuts without wasting material. Again, my dial is set to Iron On Plus right over here. So now I can just go ahead and load my mat. And this is a thicker material, so I put it on my standard grip green mat. So I'm going to go ahead and load this, and then I'll press the flashing C to get it cut. So while that is cutting, what I'm going to do is turn on my Easy Press 2. I'm going to set mine to 315, and it says to do for 12 seconds, so I'm just going to time this down for about 15 seconds. So the settings are 311 for 12 seconds, and again, I set my machine for 315 for 15 seconds. Okay, so it's all done cutting, so I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat, and it did a really, really good job. There's a couple little places where I need to push it back down a little bit, and I think it was just because on the ends, my material wasn't really flat, and it was kind of bunched up, so, but everything else cut really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my mat over, and I'm just going to bend the mat away from it. It comes off really, really easily because this is a kind of a light grip little transfer sheet on the back. So now I'm going to grab my scissors, and it's hard for you to see, but easy for me to see my design. So I can just go ahead and cut off my extras to save as much of this material as I can for another project. So I'll get this all trimmed off. And then what I can do is grab my weeding tool, and I can start weeding out my design. Okay, so I'm just going to start in the corner like I normally would, and it's a pretty thick material, and then I'm just going to go really, really slow, but it comes off really, really nicely. Okay, so I have the background all taken out, and one thing I did notice is down at the bottom, the circles are cut off at the bottom, so I went back into Design Space and I checked to see if that was a flaw in the design, but the design has the circles perfectly circular in the design, and I'm not sure what happened there because I didn't cut the sheet obviously too short, so I'm not sure. It was just maybe a little glitch from my machine, but it's okay. This is just going to be a little cozy sweatshirt to wear this winter inside, so I'm fine with it. Obviously I wish it was perfect, but you know, things happen, and I think it'll be just fine. So now I'm just going to go through my little middles and take out the middle pieces. I find it really helpful to keep Design Space open during this process so that I can reference the design to see what areas need to be weeded out. So it just really, really helps me. So let me know if you like to watch Christmas movies, if you either watch Hallmark movies or if you kind of have some go-to classics that you like to watch. I tend to watch a couple classics for sure. Definitely Home Alone is definitely one that we really like during Christmas. I'm trying to think of other ones. We always watch the classic Rudolph and Frosty because that's just so fun and nostalgic. I'm trying to think what else we like to watch. Well, of course, these days in this season of parenthood, we love the new Elf on the Shelf movie, and it's super cute. And I try to tune into at least one Hallmark movie and giggle my way through that because they're just so corny, but they're so cute too. So I always try to do at least one. So I am really impressed with how easy this weeds. This has been such an easy little design to weed, and this product has been very easy to weed. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to flip this over, and I'm just going to double check that everything is where it should be and that there are no little pieces that still need to be weeded out. So I'm just going to carefully double check that everything has been weeded out, especially the middles of the letters and then the middle of these little snowflakes. Okay, so this looks really, really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my craft mat from underneath my pressing mat because it tends to get a little warm, so I don't want my mat to buckle or anything. And now I'm going to get my shirt in here and get pressing. Okay, so I have my shirt, and now I'm just going to make sure that I have it centered on my heat mat here, and that looks about right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to preheat my material. I like to do it for about 5 seconds, and just making sure there's no moisture in the shirt, straighten out any wrinkles, but there is no wrinkles in this shirt. I love this sweatshirt. I purchased it from Target, and I did another tutorial on, I think during fall with a different color of this same brand. It's the softest sweatshirt. I'll be sure to link everything that I've used in the description box below. But I did also pre-wash. I like to pre-wash my shirts and sweatshirts before I put any iron-on or HTV on them. Okay, so now that that has been preheated, I'm just going to take my design and I'm going to place it right on my shirt. Oh, I think that was a really good size. I think this is going to be perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay it down, and I can always peel it back up too. This just has a sticky back that helps kind of grip to the shirt, but I can also peel it back up and reposition it if I need to. So I'm just going to grab my measuring tape and do a quick measurement from the edge of the design to the edge of the sweatshirt. It looks like I have about 5 inches on that side and 5 inches on that side. And then this looks good to me up here. I have about 3 to 4 inches from the top of this collar. So that visually actually looks really good to me. I'm not even going to move it. That was one and done. Okay, so again, we are going to press this. The directions were 311 degrees for 12 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and do 315 for 15 seconds. And I can place my entire press over the design. And then I can click the little Cricut button to get it started. And it says medium pressure. Okay, so now I'm going to lift up my press. And then the directions don't say to flip it over, but this has been a part of my workflow with iron-on and HTV. I've just gotten used to doing it with the Cricut materials, so I'm going to go ahead and flip mine over, and then I'm going to do an additional 15 seconds on the back just to make sure that it's really on there. Okay, so I pressed the back. Now I'm just going to remove it from this pressing pillow to help it cool down a little bit. And it does say a warm peel, so we just need to let it cool just a second and then we can peel it up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start in a corner. It is now just warm, and I'm going to start in a corner and I'm just going to slowly peel away and monitor all my edges to make sure that nothing is peeling up. Everything looks really good so far. If you do notice anything is not quite sticking, you can just lay this sheet right back down and apply some more heat. Okay, so this turned out really, really great. I love the texture. It's so soft. It has a velvety texture on the top, and this was so easy to work with. So for my first time using this, I was really, really impressed. I love how it turned out on my shirt, and I think it's going to be super cozy for this winter. So be sure you give this a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you've tried the Stripflock Pro HTV. It is so easy to work with, so I encourage you to give it a try because I'm very, very impressed. And I'm glad I have a lot of extra because I'm inspired to do more with this. It's really, really nice. It's almost addicting to kind of feel it because it feels so soft. It's really nice. It has a nice little texture on the front. All right, everyone, be sure to share this video so that everyone else knows that we are crafting for 25 days in a row for Christmas over here. I really hope you've been enjoying this 25 days of Cricut Christmas cheer, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a good day.